Hey, so now I'm going to talk to you about my DNA and what I found and how I felt about it and the changes because I received two updates since I got the first initial estimate and it made some changes. There was some big changes. So I'm going to show you what my first ones look like. I have like a quick little clip of the second one because for some reason I can't find the full estimate. I know that I saved it somewhere, but I can't find it. And then I'll show you what it looks like right now, currently. So what happens is you order the kit, it comes in the mail pretty quickly. You spit into a cup, a tube, um, you throw it back in the box that it came in, put it in the mail, and then 6 weeks or so, you get an email telling you that your results are in. Actually, you get, I think, like two other emails. You get one where they tell you that they received it. Then, then they tell you that they are processing it. Then you get another one about extracting something. It's being extracted, and then you get the results. Um, you log in, your results are there, and then you have to play around with it and navigate through the email, the website, and learn what you're looking at. So with the DNA, it'll give you the estimates of what your DNA looks like, all the different countries, but it'll also match you up with people who share the same DNA. So um, I'm going to show you my first one, and then we'll go from there. So the first one, I wasn't happy with it because I, I'm watching all these different shows and different people, and I'm watching different clips on YouTube, and these people have all these high percentages. My percentages weren't high, so it was a little disappointing for me because you have people who are like, "Oh, I'm from wherever." Now I want to go there and see where I'm from. Well, I would have to go everywhere. I would have to go everywhere. Um, so my mother, I know her father is from Virginia, and my understanding was her mother was from North Carolina. Um, so I'm telling you what I knew beforehand. Um, and my father, Puerto Rico. So Ponce. So that was what I knew. Um, as far as my mother, we never really talked about it. We never got into, well, the breakdown or what do you think or what's going on. The only thing I always had a big question about my mother's mother's background because her father was so light. And every time I asked my mother, she's like, "Oh, I don't know. I heard he was this, I heard he was that." A, Italian. Was it Italian? Something. I think it was Italian. But then when I asked my grandmother, she's just like, "We're black." And I'm like, "But you're lighter than me. So what's going on? It got to be some more." And ha ha ha, no, get out of here. No, no, no. We're black. I'm like, all right, come on. Because your hair is a certain, your hair looks like mine. You're lighter than me. Your father is very, very, very light. What's going on? Nothing, nothing. We're black. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So I always thought maybe there was some kind of like bad history. Something terrible happened in the family. And so it was just some kind of secret and, we don't want to talk about it. That's what I thought. But now I've learned no, that's not it at all. So I don't know. I still wonder, why did she not want to talk about it? Or maybe she didn't know, or maybe because he was black, that was her answer. No, we black. But of course, down the line, there are some other things going on. But as far as she was concerned, no, we're black. Um, the good thing is that you know there isn't anything crazy that happened, you know, back then. Um, I don't know, it's weird. But as far as my father's side, what he's always told me is what reflected in my estimates, and even more so now in the newer ones. He told me he was from Puerto Rico. He, he gave me the breakdown of the family, and you know, Spanish, African, Native American, and he was proud Taino, proud Taino, if nothing else. Like that was his thing. You make sure you let them know who you are. Even with the census, you make sure you write it down. You write down Taino. The option's not going to be there, but you make sure you write it down. And so I honestly was expecting, because he talked about it so much and because of the pride that he had, I that's how I felt. And so I was expecting to see Native American. Um, and there's a lot of people who are told, you know, that there's some kind of Native American, usually the same two or three tribes. And there's so many. That's another story. But so my family was the same way. You're Indian, you're Indian, you're Indian. Okay. So let me show you what my first estimate was and what it looked like. And it's like I said, it is, for me, other people's like, oh, it's fascinating. It's you're of so many different cultures and all that kind of stuff. But for me, yeah, I wasn't all that happy about it because look at that. So my highest in 2018 was Ivory Coast, Ghana, 18%, as you can see. Now, I believe a lot of people, when they get their estimates, it's much higher than 18. I've seen 50 and 60 of whatever it is. Mine is 18. And then there's my Native American, which at 12%, I was disappointed, but it was second in line. So, the way I was like, all right, well, it's there. Um, Europe West, and Europe West makes sense because of both my parents, I believe. Well, more so my mother, Cameroon, Congo. That could be either side. Iberian Peninsula, that's Spain and Portugal. No, that's Spain. And I know that's my father's side, or at least it should be. Great Britain, from talking to my mother, that's her. Mali, we really don't know. All the African countries could be either side. So really not sure. And then as I go down, it also told me, and I might have cut off the other part, the very bottom, but it did give me North Carolina, African Americans. So that's my mother's side. And then right below that, which I cut off, it said Puerto Rico. So that's what my estimates look like in 2000. And this was February 2018. So I was, I was happy about it. And I was, I had an idea, and then it was cool. I was like, okay, no surprises. And from there, I went into my matches. I linked with people who had my same DNA, sent out messages to them, talked to them, and became very close friends with a couple of them, especially one in particular. And that one person, you will meet them. I'm not sure if we're going to go live or if I'm just going to record and then put it out there. But you will meet him, and you'll learn about how we met, because you know when I get excited about something, I don't care. So I emailed him. He emailed me back, gave me his phone number. I called him right away, right then and there. I'm on my way home. Well, the thing was, is when I saw his phone number, it was the same area code. So I'm like, I gotta call him. Have to. Called him. We're talking, and I'm like, well, where do you live? And when he told me where he lived, I was like 2 lights away from where he was. I was like, I'm coming to your house right now. So he was like, sure. I went to his house right then and there. And it was cool because when I got there, his mom was there. And she reminded me of my aunt who passed away. And when I came in, he's like, I don't think that I'm, crazy or anything. But when you got out the car, I just saw my sister. He was like, you look just like my sister. And he showed me a picture of his sister. And yeah, it was weird. But he also pulled up his tree, and I saw my great grandfather on his tree. So, I told him, like, that's my great grandfather. It's like, oh, okay. So your great grandfather and my great grandfather were brothers. And so people who tell you that it's fake, it's not fake. It's about what you expect from it. Like I said, these are estimates. It says estimate. It says it. It says it says estimate. It's not exact, but it's going to give you what you need. It is going to connect you with people that you really do, that you really do, who you really are related to. Yeah, it's 9:45. So it is real. They're not just throwing stuff out and saying, here, this is what you are. No, that's not how it works. These are real family members. Like, I have family members that popped up and I recognize them right away. It's not like everyone who was on there was just some weird pictures and names and emails. No, some of them I really know. Oh, that's my aunt right there. That's my grandmother's sister. That's my cousin. No, these are family members for real. So it is not fake at all. The estimates may be off. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's science, and they are putting these things together and trying their best to connect and make sense of it. So no, the DNA is not going to be exact. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to get you where you need to be. Like I said, it really depends on your expectation of what it is that you're looking for, what you want to get out of it. What I wanted to get out of it is, let me see what my percentage is. Let me see, what this looks like. And I got that. And then I also found family for real. And I've met like 40 people who live right here, like in the same city that I live in. And that's the thing, I'm not from here. And it never dawned on me, oh, my grandmother's from here, like here. Probably got family. And come to find out, I have hundreds and hundreds, thousands of family members right here. um, so now I'm going to show you a second estimate. And that second estimate, it surprised me. I wasn't expecting it, but I got an email from Ancestry and they said, your DNA results have been updated. When you click on it, it tells you your DNA has not changed. I'm just looking so I can pull up the right thing. Your DNA has not changed, but the estimates have. And what happens is, as technology gets better and more people participate, then the results become stronger. Because, say, for instance, if they only had a bunch of people from maybe 4 countries in Africa who had participated when I first participated, then, because our DNA was from over there, they kind of threw it over there. But as more and more people from different regions, different countries, different parts of the world participate, then they can say, oh, okay, let's move them to the right spot. If you don't have anyone participating from a different, from a certain ethnic group or race, not race, ethnic group, then chances are you're not really gonna get that result. Like my first estimate, it said, what did it say? Native, I think it said Native Indian, Native American, something like that. Native Indian, something like that. It didn't give a breakdown. And so my thing was, well, I want a breakdown. I want to know exactly what, because I could be anything. It could be anything. It could be from my mother. It could be from my father. I want to know what, people real quick. Oh, I'm Cherokee. I want to know, and not that they said that about me, but I'm just saying, you people are real quick to say there's something, and chances are they're not. I want to know exactly what it is. So I had a hard time, but then in the second estimate, it changed a little bit. And I'm mad that I couldn't find the whole thing, because the whole thing showed a lot more. But with this second one, it changed. It's no longer, the first one changed. What was I? 12% of something, 18% of something. I don't remember. But now I'm 27. And it's Cameroon, Congo's Southern Bantu people. That wasn't there before. It didn't look like that. And it wasn't 27. I think it was 18. Now, instead of that, that really vague England, now it's, let's see, my first one. So it was Ivory Coast, Ghana, 18%, Native American, 12. And I had Europe West. That's what it was. I couldn't remember. So I had Europe West. And now it's no longer Europe West. Now it's really breaking down. It's Northwest Europe. It's England. It's Wales. And now I'm showing Benin, Togo. Spain, where before it was Iberian Peninsula, now it's saying it's Spain. My Native American is now showing North, Central, and South. So now it's giving me an idea. And I'm showing France. And if you go further down, I'm showing a little bit of Ireland. It was a little bit of everything. When you go further down, it was a little bit of everything. But the main were these here. So that was cool. It's like, all right, now it's breaking it down. Oh, I know I had Andes for Native American too, which is further down. So that 9, and then the rest 9, the other 3%, it was Andes. But I can't find that document. Okay. So then, and the reason for this is more people from, from different areas of the world are participating. And so now we can get a better estimate of where our DNA is from. That's what this is showing. It's not that, I don't know. I see a lot of people freak out about why did it change, and I don't understand. This is fake, but it's a reason. It's science. So then, what was it? October of last year, I got another estimate. And then that estimate, this is driving me nuts because I'm trying to do things and it's not doing what I want it to do. And that's annoying. Let's go over here. So in October, I got another one. And in that one, it really broke down all kinds of stuff. And it was pretty cool to see. Now, I've gotten over the fact that I'm mixed really bad. And, that's just the way it is. So here, this is now showing Cameroon Congo is 27%. And I have now Nigeria at 13. And Spain is 9, which hasn't changed. Then my North Wales, what is it? England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe is 8. I really want to change this so that you can see it for real, because I don't like how that's looking. Let's see. No, can't do it. Yes, I can. I'll do it like this. I don't know, is that any better? Well, if I do it like this, then you really can't see it. So let's go back to this. Yep. So now my after Europe is Ireland and Scotland, 7%. Indigenous Puerto Rico. So now it's telling me 7% of my indigenous DNA is Puerto Rico. That is my Taino DNA. Then I have Mali at 7, Portugal at 6, Senegal at 5, Ghana at 4, Indigenous Eastern South America at 3%, Northern Africa, 2%, France, 2%, Benin Togo is still there at 2%, but you see how it's dropped because it was a much higher the last time. So that's showing you that there's, more of these other people, especially people with indigenous DNA, are participating, and I'm so glad they are. So now I can see what I am made up of. So then after Benin Togo at 2%, Norway, Norway at 1%. And then I have Indigenous Americas Mexico at 1%. And I've seen people from Puerto Rico, from Dominican Republic, from these different islands who have Taino DNA. And when they see this Mexico, they're like, what? But for those who do not know, if you carry DNA, Taino DNA, the Taino Indians came from the Arawak Indians, and the Arawak Indians are from that area, Mexico, all the way over there. And then they came all the way over here. So you have the Arawaks, and then from the Arawaks came the Caribs and the Tainos. So, if you're from one of the islands and you take this DNA test and you see in Mexico, you want to know what the fuck. This is why. This is where it's coming from. So I understood why the Mexico was there. We're gonna leave that there. And then the last is Basque. And I know Basque is is a very small little area between Spain and something. My father told me that our family began there. My last name is from there. So I was happy to see that. I was really happy to see that. I know exactly what that's about. So it was pretty cool to see that. Um, additional community, additional communities. So this is showing you where they find my DNA from. I would imagine that they're gathering this from all the people who are sharing the same DNA as me, who've participated, and then looking at the families. So for me, it's Puerto Rico, but it's the whole damn island, South Central, Central and Eastern, Northeastern, Southwestern, so everywhere, which is, that's me, everything. Mid-Atlantic Coast African Americans. So Mid-Atlantic, we know that. Roanoke River African American. So before it just said North Carolina. I do know, I have learned that not only is my grandfather from Virginia, but my grandmother's people were also originally from there before coming to North Carolina. So this is on point. This is making sense. And it's cool. It's nice to see, especially when you've been told a lot of things and then you see it. So for me, the Spain makes sense, the England makes sense. The Ireland kind of makes sense for me only because of my first name, because it's Irish. But other than that, where it came from, how, I don't know. I know I'm the fourth female with the name in the family, as far as I know. I'm number 4. My family wanted to pass down the females' names along with the males' names, first names. So I don't know. But the indigenous Puerto Rico, I knew that. um, Portuguese, you know, way down. They were all, you know, at war and taking over and doing shit they had no business doing. So, indigenous, Eastern, South American, again, that's over there. Nothing on here is crazy. Um, I can't wait to see more updates to kind of clean out what shouldn't be there and like really get to what I am. So I guess along the way that will happen. Um, we'll see. Um, other than that, I don't really have any questions. Besides the indigenous, I never had any questions. I just wanted proof. I wanted things more proven than to have questions about it. Um, it's amazing how people will get their results and not understand why their results look the way they do, or they think because they're from in a country, or a country, that they are that country. Like they don't go past that. Oh, I'm from here. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that's what you are, who you are, So I'm glad that, people are looking into it and learning more and understanding more and realizing that, we're all very mixed. Um, no one is one thing, is what I mean. No one is one thing uh, when it comes to race. So I'm gonna keep researching. I'm going to learn more and more because I'm interested. It's fun. As far as, I want to go to Africa. I'm going to have to go see all of Africa. Just kind of pick certain places at a time, I guess. Go with the highest and then go down. I don't know. We will see. I'm not really interested in Europe. Not. But all the other places, yeah, I am. So on the next one, I will probably have one of my cousins on, and then maybe on the fourth one, another one, and just bring people in, let them talk about their experience, their perspective. My cousin that I have in mind, the first one, he is his brain is weird. Like he takes in information, he holds it, he can process it, he spits out all this information and data. Very interesting. So he's like the type of person that you can ask questions. You can give him your name and he's like running down all your family members and their names and what is weird. So it'll be really interesting to have him on. So any questions? Anything you really want me to elaborate on? If this thing here, you can't really see it, and you need me to do a better job of blowing this up so that you can see it, let me know. I don't mind bringing this back up or even scheduling a live so that you can see it. What in the world? Why wouldn't it? See, like it should be bigger than this, but it isn't. It's getting on my nerves. So yeah, any questions or whatever, any information you need. So this was a comparison that I did so you can see the what it looked like in the beginning. So this is what it looked like in the beginning. The 18 compared the 18 for Ghana. See Ghana 18%, and then now this is the current, and the current here for Ghana is 4%. Ivory Coast. What is this? Ivory Coast, Ghana. And even with this, so this is showing you from a map perspective where all my DNA is coming from. So none of this part of Africa. So I ain't got to worry about that part of Africa. But all of this I need to check out. And then all up in here, all up in there, that part of Europe. So I don't have any Russia and all that. My husband does, but not me. And, nothing over there. But all of this, South America, yes. I'm all up in South America. And then all of this for North America, that's all indigenous DNA. This is all indigenous DNA for me. And we can go more into the maps and all that kind of stuff later on. But as you can see, I never had Nigeria. Nigeria is up there now, proudly. Spain was Iberian Peninsula at 8%. Now it's actual Spain with 9%, but then Portugal 6%. So it's climbing. In Europe, 12% is at 8%, but that's because it's then broken down. All this down here and over here, and look at this Norway. Huh. Yeah, so this is what it looks like when it's side by side. And that is all for now, because it is late and I am tired and I still have a lot of homework to do that I don't think I'm going to be doing. But any questions you have, please leave the questions, leave the comments, all of that down in the comment section. And let me know what other information you may want or explanation about whatever that you may need. And I will see you the next time around. And let me know what you think.